everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 636. We are that podcast that talks about anime, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
And I am Mako-chan.
And again, first of all, I apologize for the long delay. We had technical difficulties on both sides of the studio. Okay, so what happened was, well, you have to understand, Mako's PC is generally for the podcast and occasional gaming here and there. So whenever she uses it, and then she'll run updates and call it a day. So and sometimes it can happen where if you don't use your machine every day, the updates can just sit there till it's like, oh, you're up, you're alive. I have updates to run, and sometimes it takes 5-10 minutes. And generally, Windows will tell you how long the updates will take. I don't believe them half the time, but it is what it is. So a 4-minute update turned into a 45-minute update, and it just kept. It wouldn't boot loop. It would just boot and stop, boot and stop. It was just spinny circle of doom. So after a couple of hard shutdowns and restarts, Windows detected, oh, the last update didn't fix everything, so let's roll everything back. Took a little bit of time, and she's up and running. So I go and fire up Stream Elements, and it tells me it can't run it due to an issue with the GPU, and I'm just like, this GPU is worth $400. I swear if I have to, and it's by EVGA. So, anywho, I'm like, wait, I got an update. So I rebooted my machine and we're up and running. So basically through technical difficulties, that's what happens here. And Pod Culture says in our chat room here, couldn't be longer than my Sequoia update this afternoon. Pod Culture, please understand, I wipe and update Mac laptops at work. Trust me, I understand. I have sat there and seen a MacBook take up to 2 hours just to install. So I understand. Believe you me. All right, let's get the show on the road here. We are live. Let me think this up here. We are live week of June 11th, 2024, right here on Twitch TV. We're here live Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 p.m. And before we continue along, Mako, how are you doing tonight?
I am really, really freaking tired.
I'm feeling a little tired because one thing I like about June in New York City, it only gets hot between 10 and 5 p.m. After that, it just gets really cool. It's like the weather just drops down to a nice 60 degrees or 65 degrees, and it's nice, it's cool. My windows aren't facing the street, so I don't have to worry about this. It's nice, cool, and breezy, you know? So I feel that. So don't forget, you can always find us on Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session. This is the home of our podcast. We're also proud to be part of the Voice of Geeks Network at vognetwork.com. So you want to check them out as well, you can head on over to Twitch TV/VogNetwork. We're also proud to be part of the Voice of Geeks Network at vognetwork.com. If you head over to their Twitch channel, you can check out the Bobby Blackwolf Show at 8 o'clock, followed by Orange Lounge Radio at 9. And then you should come hang out in our Discord at vognetwork.com/Discord. All the shows that are live on the Voice of Geeks Network has their own channel, so come through and hang out and have a good time. So now that we got that out the way, we're going to go ahead and ask Mako-chan how was her day and how was her week. So Mako-chan, how was your day? How was your week?
Day and week have been a day and a week. Other than that, everything is, going as well as it can be expected. We had our redo of Christmas since, I had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So hung out with some mutual friends,
Yep.
Set some fires.
Fire in the disco, firing up Taco Bell.
and played music to annoy my friends' neighbors.
I'm all about that, you know. And I think they just actually went. I think while we were blasting some good music, they actually shut their lights off and called it. So we win.
But yeah, that's about it.
All right, cool. All right, so my weekend day was the same thing. You know, work was work, and then Friday I hopped on the bus and went out with Mako. We hung out, and then we went out for our Christmas in June uh event. And normally I would stay the full weekend, but what had happened was I was supposed to go to an event on Sunday, and normally that event is monthly and it starts around 6. So it didn't help that, yes, we did catch traffic on the way back, but only about a half hour of traffic, and then there were delays with the subway. So I didn't get back into my house until like 5:30. So I'm like, let me see how long it's gonna take by bus. Closer to 7. Nah, not doing that. So I got a lift over to the bar where we hang out at, and I didn't see anybody. So I pull up the event page. It was at 1 o'clock. So I missed the whole thing, and even if I left early, I would have missed everything, you know?
Mm.
So there's that. So at least this event is still monthly, so it's just that, every time we have this event, there's usually new people that show up. So I kind of wanted to check them out and see how things were going. Meet new people and all that good stuff, how we do. So that was basically my weekend day. Let's get into some housekeeping notes here. Don't forget, episodes of Anime Jam Session are available not just on our podcasting feed, but you can also watch the VOD not just on our Twitch feed. But if you're looking for older episodes, you can find it on our YouTube page, youtube.com/Anime Jam Session. Click on podcasts and you'll see all the episodes there. Episodes are live Thursdays at 12 noon, so definitely check those out. There's no pre-show or anything. It's just the actual meat and potatoes of the episode. And for conventions, we're actually, one thing I like about this area, you can hit a lot of conventions, a lot of local ones, and not travel that far. So that's one reason why I like living in this area. But I want to let you know that we have Shenanigans coming up June 22nd to the 23rd, 2024 at the Hilton Parsippany at Parsippany, New Jersey. It is a 21 plus convention, so you might want to come out, have some fun. Don't have to worry about the ankle biters. We need more of these types of conventions coming through.
Agreed.
Yes. And the following weekend after that, as I look over at my calendar to check the proper dates, we have Undiscovered Realm Comic Con June 29th and 30th at the Westchester County Center in White Plains, New York. And then I just found out there are 2 more conventions at the Expo Center next month, and I'm just like, wow, they're bringing out the woodwork on these shows, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, now that we got, I thought I had refreshed this. Hold on here. Forward. All right. Let's refresh. There we go. Let's refresh one more time. Now we'll get into Geek Roundtable. This is a part of the show where we talk more about the geekier aspects of our weekly lives and share off some cool stuff. So, right now, Mako-chan has on screen a plushie with eyes that have the pride colors.
This would be my continuation of showing off my little demons. This is Leviathan. Again, he is from the game and anime series Obey Me. Yeah, so as soon as I started buying, I knew I was gonna get sucked in.
There
I tried
you
not
go.
to, and I was only gonna, get the ones that I really, really wanted, and then I'm like, well, I might as well just get them all. So, yeah, I've got one that is on order, that has, I guess, been put through for production,
Mm-hmm.
and one that is currently still on order. Uh, and that one, I think the timer ends on that at the end of this week.
Okay.
And after that, I think there are two more demons. Yes, two more demons after that. And I'm
That's
still
cool.
hoping like hell they don't go into the other demons or angels, because then I'm really fucked.
All right. So my week, the nerdy aspect of my week was pretty good. Me and Mako started a new anime, or as I like to call it, we started a new anime. She's gonna go finish reading her fan fictions, and I'm gonna actually finish the anime. So it's called Jellyfish Can't Swim at Night. So it's basically an idol anime of sorts. Basically, the main character got into a fight with her idol troupe, left, trying to find herself, gets inspired by jellyfish, and brings in and other people get involved, and become like a virtual band, and they're just trying to learn from their past and their issues and their mistakes for something cool. I'm already up to episode 9, and it's just getting good. And I think the management team of the main character that was a part of is reaching out for some fan art to be done. By the way, the manager of the idol group is the main character's mother. So that's interesting. I'm caught up with Mushiko Tensei, and I'm happy where things are going. Again, I kind of spoiled myself by reading them like spoilers regarding the light novel, but I don't mind it because I'm still going to watch this series all the way through. I think we're at a point where people don't have to really call Rudy a perv or anything like that because of how it is him, but you keep hearing the thoughts of the 34-year-old guy that was the shut-in, you know. But that's all that is. So I wouldn't worry too much about that aspect of it, but it's been good. Kaiju number 8, that's really been good. I'm enjoying that. Um, My Hero Academia season 7. I just watched the latest dubbed episode. I know I'm 2 or 3 episodes behind the actual rundown, but I want to watch this season dubbed because I watched the last 6 subtitle. I want to watch this one dubbed and check it out, and I'm enjoying it. So I would like to show off one of the figures that I picked up at Zenkai Con, which have been sitting in Mako-chan's house for, I'd say, about 2 months. And the only reason why is because when I pack for conventions, I usually don't pack room for figures and stuff. And if I do have room for figures, it's very minimal. So I end up buying 3 figures, and I didn't have a proper way to pack them. And given the price that I paid, which is not like 15 or $20, I kind of wanted to be careful with them. I didn't want the boxes to get damaged or anything, but granted, the fact that I'm pulling the stickers, like the price stickers, off of them, I'm kind of bending the box a bit, but that's okay. But what's interesting is that the Japanese figures that I purchased, the price tags are still on them, but the way they put them on there, I can just easily peel them off without any problems at all. Now, I watched Chainsaw Man. I thought it was a great anime. Overhyped as fuck, yes, but it's still a good anime. There are 2 characters on the show that I enjoyed: Kobeni and Akihayama. I believe that is his name. So I picked up this figurine right here of him with his sword. This was on a list of cosplays to do, but I never got around to doing it. It might happen. I honestly don't know. But I have this figure now, which is going to go into the box of stuff that needs to be packed up. And what's interesting is if you're watching, if you look behind me where the red Christmas box bag is, that's gifts I got from the Christmas in June event. Behind there on the box are other figurines I have shown off in prior episodes that are sitting there. It's just that as limited space that I have, I simply don't have room to pack more stuff at the moment. Now, if I was able to push my bookcase to the back and move stuff around, I might be able to have room, but I'm okay for right now. I'm good. And also, since we are celebrating Pride, I am showing off. I have another awesome shirt here that I would like to share, and and it's basically a series of D20s. And let me adjust the microphone here so you don't doesn't sound like I'm fading out. It's basically a series of D20s here, for different levels of pride and representation. And it says at the top, when someone attacks one party member, we all roll for initiative, which is a cool shirt. I picked that up last year on Amazon. So, and it's also, if you're on my personal Facebook, I always, when it's your birthday, I always go, congratulations for leveling up, roll for initiative. So that's kind of cool. Now, I actually have to change the way I wear my shirts now, because I think I mentioned it in last week's show, where I wore one of my new Pride shirts that I got. Or I was like, they're Pride shirts, but I'm an ally. And it showed up Tuesday night, so I wore it for the show. But since I only wore it for like an hour or two, I hung it up and wore it to work the next day. And we have our weekly tech meetings. And out of the many meetings that we have, this is one of the few where we actually have to either be on camera or not on camera. If you use Zoom and you know about the whole avatar thing, yeah, that. So I wore that shirt, and some people liked it. I was like, oh, wait till you see next week's shirt. So I'll be wearing this to work tomorrow. So that's going to be kind of cool. Forgot to mention that Ari is not in tonight. He's working overnight, and Barry is taking a bit of a sabbatical for right now. They kind of feel like they kind of burnt out. So maybe in a few weeks they'll come on and just kind of chill with us. Maybe we should do like a chill stream where we just talk or something like that. We'll see how it goes. Anywho, we're gonna get into tonight's news, and the news at the top of the list. I mean, this is something I was not expecting, but given what people have been saying about Gainax, it was like a matter of time. So, Mako-chan is going to tell us about Studio Gainax filing for bankruptcy.
Yeah, so after several poor financial and managerial outcomes, Gainax, who you will know from the likes of Evangelion, Gurren Lagann, Gunbuster, and His and Her Circumstances, has formally filed for bankruptcy.
Dun dun dun.
Via the official Gainax website, the petition for bankruptcy has been accepted by the Tokyo District Court with the transfer of all the company's copyrights under supervision by Evangelion creator Hideaki Onno's Studio Kara. The announcement highlights numerous executive failures and unfruitful ventures, such as restaurant management and quote-unquote unplanned CG company, large unsecured loans to individual executives, and the failure to win investment contracts. As a result, we fell into a difficult situation, continues the report, such as being expelled from the committee for non-payment of royalties and being sued for loans. A notable example of Studio Cars successfully suing Gainax for unpaid royalties. Gainax's statement paints the studio as a sinking ship, where numerous executives spun off names bearing Gainax, resulting in numerous resignations and the loss of our animation production function as a studio. Those former staff also continued to work using the Gainax brand without any regard for this predicament. Former Gainax representative director Tomohiro Maki, described in the statement as a person with no knowledge of video production, was arrested a year into his tenure in 2019 for the sexual assault of a minor, accelerating the collapse. After the scandal, Gainax began to review its financial conditions and discovered large amounts of undisclosed borrowing from banks at managerial level, selling and transferring intellectual property without legitimate permission, and defaulting on debts to various companies. Despite attempts to negate the situation, such as selling the rights to panty and stocking with garter belt, Gainax could not solve its massive debt. A debt collection company finally sued the studio in May of 2024. We decided that it would be difficult to continue our business, so we filed for bankruptcy. Gainax continued, apologizing to everyone who had put faith in the company. The company's collapse sees the end of an important entity in anime production, with works that Gainax is responsible for, including Evangelion, Fooly Cooly, Gurren Lagann, and many more. Hiroyuki Imaishi had left Gainax to found Studio Trigger, as had Shinji Higuchi in the case of Gonzo, whose works include Welcome to the NHK, Hellsing, and Full Metal Panic. To protect against the misuse of Gainax trademark, it has since been transferred to Kara, who Gainax credits as an important helper during the studio struggles.
Well,
So,
now.
for you companies that have management, the company is not your bank. Stop that. Bad people.
For a split second, I thought you were talking to the boys in the cage.
No, they're just loud as fuck tonight for some reason.
And just so you know, for the record, for those of you new to the show, Mako-chan does not have actual boys in her cage. Those are her sugar gliders named Sam and Dean.
They're the boys.
Mm-hmm. Me thinking the boys from Amazon, but please continue.
Well, I mean, technically one of them is from the boys on Amazon.
Yep, yes. I know.
On technicality.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's don't do stupid shit, because you win stupid prizes. There you go.
Play stupid games, win stupid. Yep.
Yep.
And don't forget, we hear about shit like this with American companies too. So. And now that we move from terrible news, we're going to talk about some great news. And I hit the refresh on the wrong page. There we go.
Oops.
And now we're going to finally talk about something we have been waiting for like, I think for the last 6 months. Sailor Moon Cosmos is finally getting its release date. Yes, the movie, both movies have already been out in Japan, already been released on DVD and Blu-ray. There are fans who have ran out and have bought it. Me personally, I'm like, I was just holding out because I want to support people in the industry. So that, and with my backlog of anime, I'm in no rush. So as it was announced on Netflix Anime's Twitter social media page, I'm still gonna call it Twitter. Fuck this X shit. No, X gonna give it to you. Anywho, the Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Cosmos movies will be released on Netflix on August 22nd, 2024. The first Netflix poster and fresh stills for the movie were also posted, showing Sailor Moon and the Senshi and the Starlights. Netflix has teased the release as the Shadow Galactica arc takes center stage. Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Cosmos the movie, the final chapter of the Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon series, premieres August 22nd. So I am happy about this. I am also hype about this. It's go time. The movie will be the first of 2 parts, concluding the final Stars Act. For those of you who don't know, the original 200 episode anime each had a name for it. Sailor Moon, R, S, Supers, and Sailor Stars. The 4th season they used to refer to as Sailor Moon SS, but if you kind of know your history and Google that, you'll understand why they no longer call it that. Anywho, It's going to have the Stars Act as well as the remake adaptation of the original Sailor Moon manga series by Naoko Takeuchi. The movie was first released in Japan back in June of last year, with direction from Tomoya Takahashi and the screenplay written by Kazuyuki Furuyasu. The announcement of this was revealed during Next on Netflix, which is what Netflix uses to announce upcoming shows and movies and animes that they have and they're going to be putting out. So that's kind of cool. So we're also going to hear that Trigun Stampede Studio Orange will be putting out an anime called Leviathan, and that you'll be seeing that next year. Studio Ghibli and Oscar award-winning composer Joe Hisaishi is responsible for the music for that one. Following, I think that we talked about, I believe, last week or week before last, Terminator Zero's first visuals and worldwide release, it was also revealed that Timothy Olympian, TV's Coolest Cowboy, according to a CBR feature, will voice the Terminator. That's going to be interesting. Kodansha USA licenses the Pretty Girl Sailor Moon manga, describing it as Usagi Tsukino is a normal girl until she meets up with Luna, a talking cat, who tells her that she is Sailor Moon. As Sailor Moon, Usagi must fight evils and enforce justice in the name of the moon and the mysterious Moon Princess. She meets other girls destined to be Sailor Senshi, and together they fight the forces of evil. So, I am finally hyped for that. I kind of want to do a stream of it on our Discord. I don't know if that'll happen, but if it does, keep an eye out on our social media pages.
That would be fun.
It would be. I mean, hold on here.
We should try and plot something and do a stream on there like once a week or so and just watch the entire series up until that comes out.
That's in what, August, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we could. I don't see why not.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we're sitting there and watching 200 episodes.
Right, I wouldn't mind doing a stream of Crystal and Eternal. I wouldn't mind it. So I think I'll start kind of brainstorming something, and we might be doing maybe Wednesday night Sailor Moon Wednesday nights. We'll see, or might be Wednesday or Thursday. We'll figure it out one way or another. So, well, I kind of figured that out. Mako's gonna tell us about one of her favorite animes promoting an electric car.
Yeah, so, obviously electric cars are starting to really get power boosts. So to celebrate, uh, Hyundai, Hyundai, decided to merge the Real Future with iconic Ghost in the Shell franchise. So they are using Ghost in the Shell to advertise their new Ioniq 5N. So there are multiple different little snippets that are now on the Twitter account for both Ghost in the Shell and Hyundai. It started on May 22nd with the initial announcement of the collaboration. Each of the initial posts shared the same text. Then they shared the same short video, while the Hyundai Japan account has a slightly different version of the video. It is just a short clip of Ghost in the Shell protagonist Motoko Kusanagi driving the Hyundai Ioniq 5N. And then at the end, a little pop-up goes, "Never just drive, that's what my ghost whispers." Now, on between May 23rd and June 2nd, then 2 videos were posted, 30-second videos, which extended the shorts that were featured on the social media posts. Um, However, there is a 60-second video which follows the 30-second continued short. Um, this 60-second video follows members of the Ghost in the Shell's Public Security Section 9 as they chase the Hyundai Ioniq 5N. The videos feature some iconic moments from the franchise, such as Kusanagi falling from a skyscraper, and then there just is a little twist at the end of the story. So the Shibuya Tsutsaya store will host the Hyundai Ioniq 5N and Ghost in the Shell collaboration between June 3rd and June 22nd. A mock-up of the event space is on the Ghost in the Shell website, which shows the two Ioniq 5Ns on display with a Tachikoma between them. And in the back, the videos will apparently be playing on a loop. Yeah, so not for nothing. It's pretty damn cool. So it's not stated if there's going to be a limited production of the specific Ghost in the Shell Ioniq 5N. According to the Hyundai US website, the 2025 Ioniq 5N starting list price is $66,000.
Ooh, that's a lot of money.
But it is 641 horsepower, EPA estimated range up to 221 miles, and their standard all-wheel drive. So yeah, it is going to be a very powerful car. Acceleration is 0 to 60 in 3.25 seconds, which is not bad. And there's an N-drift optimizer on it. Yeah, for any of you speed demons like myself, yeah, you have fun with that.
And the theme from Initial D is running through my head as we speak.
When I was watching the videos, which, you know, if you can find them, the videos are really, really fun. They are in Japanese, but it did remind me a lot of, you know, Ghost in the Shell kind of meeting Initial D. It was fun.
Now, I will say this much. Hyundai has been pushing the hell out of this car. I mean, I don't watch a lot of TV, but I do see ads on YouTube whenever I do, or like when I'm in the elevator, seeing like ads on the TVs in the elevators, or when we have one of the like streaming channels, like LG channels on TV. There are 3 podcasts that I listen to, and the hosts have been promoting the Hyundai Ioniq 5 all the damn time. And let me tell you, if I could drive, I probably would have put a down payment on one by now. Because god damn it, if Topanga from Boy Meets World is promoting it, and Kimmy Gibbler from Full House on her podcast is promoting it, then goddamn, I should buy it, okay?
It is a very pretty car.
Oh, not you too, Mako.
I'm not usually one for electric cars, but I do like fast cars. And it's a fast car.
Okay there, Tracy Chapman. And Pop Culture says, that is more than my house. The price of that car is a few grand underneath my yearly salary. That's just wow. All right. So next up, we're going to talk about the Akira Toriyama Museum. I think it's cool that a pop culture icon such as him is getting a museum. And of course it would be in Japan. And I tell you this right now. If any museum here in the US were to open and have like a visitors-esque wing for his work, people will show up. Okay? So, according to the Mainichi Shimbun, Hideaki Omaran, the governor of Toriyama's hometown in Aichi Prefecture, agrees with fans that a tribute museum should be built where the late manga artist was born. Takahashi Matsuyama, former official assistant and illustrator to Toriyama, also said that, as a fan, I definitely want an Akira Toriyama museum. Fans all over the world think so too. Oh, absolutely. I mean, there is a Christmas Story House museum in Cleveland where you can visit and actually sleep in one of the bedrooms as an Airbnb. Just saying. Before his passing, Toriyama illustrated a new commemorative logo for Kyosu City, located in Aichi Prefecture, for its 20th anniversary for 2025. His special illustration is a comical depiction of a samurai, referencing Kyosu's connection to Japan's Warring States era. The cute and simple art style is a throwback to Toriyama's early days as a manga gag artist, with amusing titles such as Dr. Slump or the original Dragon Ball series, later of which was at times much of a comedy as it was a martial arts action adventure title. The Dragon Ball franchise itself will celebrate its 40th anniversary on November 20th, 2024. Although Toriyama will no longer be present for the upcoming celebration, his contributions will still be felt in the upcoming TV anime series Dragon Ball Daima. However, according to a posthumous interview from the Tokyo Anime Award Festival 2024, he didn't plan to be involved with the new anime. Dragon Ball Daima was originally planned to be an original anime series without me, but as I gave advice here and there, I ended up getting deeply involved with the project without realizing it. I was not only involved in the overall storyline, but also in the worldview, character design, mechas, and other aspects. And thank God, because if the last time Toriyama didn't get involved with a series, we got GT.
No one talks about that.
Exactly. After his passing, though, the Dragon Ball Super manga, Toyotaru, went on hiatus after an emotional send-off to its creator. But new artwork of Gohan Beast by the series artist is giving fans hope that the manga will soon return to publication. So, that's really cool. If it does happen by the time I go to Japan, I think I want to try to make a trip to check it out.
Yeah, that would definitely be worth it.
Okay, now it seems that Kadokawa was hit with a cyber attack and they're going to talk about it. So, Mako, what do they have to say?
Okay, let me just pull that up.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kadokawa Corporation released a statement on Twitter after several of the group's websites became unavailable in response to what the company suspects is a cyber attack. They stated early in the hours of Saturday, June 8th, that an issue occurred that prevented access to multiple servers in the company. To protect the data, Kadokawa immediately shut down the servers affected by the incident. They conducted an internal analysis and investigation on the same day and determined that there is a high possibility that the company has been a victim of a cyber attack. So they are currently working to protect and restore the system. It is still being investigated, looking for any information from the websites that was leaked. Kadokawa also confirmed that the Nico Nico servers and Eep10, the online shopping site of Kadokawa Game Linkage, have been affected by the suspected cyber attack. Separate statement, Nico Nico's management, the company confirmed that its Nico Nico family services such as Nico Nico Duga, Nico Nico Live Broadcast, Nico Channel, among others, are suspended. Login access to Nico Nico accounts on external services is also suspended. They are also investigating the incident and taking preventative measures, but the company stated it cannot begin to restore services till it is confident it has completely eliminated the effects of the suspected cyber attack and its safety has been confirmed. Nico Nico does not expect for its servers to be restored this weekend and will provide another update regarding the situation on Monday. They announced on Monday that they are still conducting an investigation to get the full scope of damage from the suspected cyber attack. And moving forward, it is making preparations to rebuild Nico Nico's entire system to prevent it from cyber attacks.
Jeez.
Within the week, Nico Nico's executive officer and chief technology officer will explain the expected time it will take for its system to be restored and more information as the investigation progresses. Kadokawa, meanwhile, stated it will continue to investigate the incident with the cooperation of other experts and the police and will take swift action accordingly. As of yesterday, there were no updates from Kadokawa.
Well, they didn't mention anything about like accounts in the aspect of like financial and stuff. So let's hopefully we don't have to worry about that.
Let me see.
Because it didn't mention anything about that, so I'm just like, thank God for that.
Yeah, no, I'm on the website now.
Yeah, it does say they don't store the credit card information, which means they use a third party host. So when you're making purchases, it redirects somewhere else. So thank God.
I'm not really seeing anything that has been updated since yesterday. All of the information from what I see that is current.
Oh, that's good. Now we'll get into our last story of the night about voice actor Yuki Kaji, who is countering unauthorized AI with his own unique suggestion, which I think works. Now, there's been a rise in AI generated content and has brought to light questions regarding the rights to celebrities' images, likenesses, and voices and how we produce original works. We didn't talk about this on the podcast. At least I don't remember. If we have, we kind of talked about it lightly and so forth. So basically, a friend of the show, somebody took her voice and used it to do their own podcast, like a story podcast, without her permission. Eventually, the person took it all down, removed his site and everything. We don't have proper laws in place on copyrights on voice and AI and so forth, and it's still being argued. We do know that James Earl Jones has given Disney his blessing to use his voice and AI for future Star Wars projects. As long as he gets royalties off of that and the family, that's all I care about. But go back to what's going on here, and also something that was regarding the SAG-AFTRA strike and the Writers Guild strike. These strikes, they were striking, to prevent AI from being used heavily, and this was brought to the public in regards to that. Now, in Japan, the issue is looming somewhere in the background, but there's a feeling that no one really wants to address it. Like nobody wants to talk about the pink elephant in the room, But the voice of Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan, Yuki Kaji, is trying to protect his voice with his new official voice synthesis software. On Twitter, the accounts for Soyogi and Yuki Kaji announced the project on September 3 and 4th of last year. The post by the Soyogi account noted that Kaji was embarking on a new project related to his voice to commemorate his 20th anniversary as a voice actor. Cool. And in turn, Kaji posted how he is working on a voice synthesis project that will be updating regularly. From there, more information about the project was slowly revealed, which include character designer Soyogi and interviews regarding said project. On January 31st of this year, the account announced the opening of the official website, which is soyogi-fractal.com. On the site, you can hear an original theme song called "Oh Virtual," written by Sawano Hiroyuki. Again, the information about the project was sporadic, but nonetheless, the Twitter account posted new songs using the voice synthesis semi-regularly. But on April 3rd, it was revealed a crowdfunding campaign will be used through Campfire to bring Kaji's project to life. The crowdfunding project started on April 11th and ran until May 31st. The initial goal was about to hit 10 million yen, which is equivalent to about $64,000. And that's probably a little bit less now given the dollar to yen ratio, give or take. You know. The campaign was they hit their goal 3 times. They hit 3 times the goal and over 900 backers. The website notes that the purpose of the campaign was to allow creators a method to use Kaji's voice to create new and interesting stories and songs. Of course, implicit in the message is that he's providing legal avenues for fans to use his voice. Prior to the crowdfunding campaign ending, Live Door News reported that Kaji's thoughts on regarding generative AI, especially in the audio sphere, back in May. He states that he'd been worried about copyright issues surrounding voices, which is why he started the project so his voice wouldn't be abused. However, Kaji went on to say, "Still, I believe we should coexist with AI, not be hostile to it. There is no good or bad in the technology known as AI. It all depends on the morality of the people who use it. We can see he wants to give people the tools to use in his voice, but in a legal manner." Kaji also posted on his Twitter account upon completion of the crowdfunding campaign his gratitude to everyone who backed it. This is a surefire way to help prevent the illicit use of Kaji's voice. Hopefully, the Soyogi program will become available to the public so Kaji's fans can create all sorts of interesting music and other audio projects. Again, the big thing is AI. And the big issue that we're seeing with AI is art. And eventually it's going into voice. AI should be not the main character, but the sidekick, an assistant, backup. I would say like this. You shouldn't go into AI, use AI to create these characters for me for my project. Instead, you should go, AI, this is what I have so far for my characters. I would like suggestions. And the AI would see your drawing and give you suggestions for different poses and so forth. Then you take those ideas and you just run with something on your own. You keep it going. AI is meant to support and assist, not take charge and run. Same thing if you're writing something. Let's say you get writer's block. You go to AI with what you got. And you have it just spit out different ideas and so forth. I would say at that time you can say, yes, I used AI to help. But if AI spits out 4 different storylines, you can be inspired from these 4 storylines and write your own and keep going. You can do that. So we're figuring out a way, one way or another. We're going to get there. Like it or not, AI is a part of the technosphere, and this is the generation we're heading into. But believe you me, we are leaps and bounds. No, we're light years away from Skynet. Because believe you me, if we were any closer to Skynet, it would just take one idiot to kickstart that. So, and we have enough idiots in the field already.
I mean, what?
Oh, Mako.
What?
I didn't say anything.
Neither did I. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
To quote from Anchorman, I don't believe you.
You don't have to.
And that's the scary part. Anywho, we're at the part of the show where y'all really stick around for is meanwhile in Japan. So normally we'd have three stories from three different hosts to tell you about them, but we're only going to be doing two tonight, and we'll put the third one on the burner for next week. So let's see what we got here. Mako, which one do you feel like taking?
I don't care.
All right. I guess I could take the first story because something that I tend to deal with on the trains here in New York from time to time. Doesn't happen a lot, but there are some things that do happen.
All right, I'll take the second one then.
All right. So it seems that an otaku draws inspiration from an anime hero to confront a knife-wielding attacker on a train. On the morning of May 21st, a frightening incident took place on the Taichung Metro in the city of Taichung, Taiwan. Right after boarding a train at Shiyuan Temple Station, a man pulled out a knife and began indiscriminately attacking people. Thankfully, no lives were lost in said attack, thanks to the actions of brave passengers who were able to disarm and subdue the man. Among the 17 people involved in the response was Su Rui Hisian, who required medical treatment for the slashes to the face he sustained while fighting with the attacker. Su has been released from hospital and attended a ceremony of commendation held on June 4th, presided over by the city's mayor. Speaking on how he found the courage to stand up to the attacker, Su nonchalantly said, "Even if I had to do it again, I'd make the same choice. It's what the hero Himmel would have done." And for those of you who don't know who Himmel is, he is one of the main characters from the anime Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. Which, by the way, if you have not watched it, sit down and watch it. It is so good. If you are really into D&D and you like Delicious in Dungeon, Frieren is right up your alley. And basically, as she didn't know, it's a series that follows the elven mage Frieren through a fantasy realm years after her heroic questing companions have passed away from old age. Think of this as the anime as New Game Plus to the campaign that she was in. Chief and Frieren's memories is Himmel, a swordsman and archetypal hero whose selfless bravery helps the emotionally cool Frieren come to a closer understanding of love, compassion, and other tender human emotions. Oh, okay. And as news of Hugh's heroic actions and heroic inspirations spread, both the official Frieren Twitter account and the manga's editor, Katsuma Ogura, posted in response. It's a drawing of Frieren saying, "Please feel free to use this image for times when someone does what Himmel would have done." And the quote says, "Don't worry, Himmel, the world is getting better." And I think it's really nice. It's important to note that Hisu had more than just anime hero level sense of justice on his side of the confrontation with the attacker. In addition to being an otaku, Su, who attended the ceremony wearing the same now bloodstained pair of sneakers he wore during the attack, is also a fitness coach and competitive powerlifter who had been training for a July competition that he's now had to withdraw due to his preparations being disrupted during his recovery from his knife wounds. Still, bodybuilder or not, his actions are commendable and prove that sometimes on-screen anime heroics aren't just escapist entertainment, but a source of strength that can spur real-life action to help others. I think that's really awesome. What do you think, Mako?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I would go knife like chasing after somebody with a knife, but hey, whatever.
I mean, I never, but I have been in those situations where, things have happened on the subway, and it's like, yeah, if this character would do it, I should do something similar. So, I totally get that. And I like the fact that people draw inspiration and motivations from various places. And I think it's cool that he got his inspiration from an anime character. Because let's be real, when we were young children, we were inspired by Marvel and DC heroes and movie heroes and cartoon characters. So how is this any different? It really isn't. All right, Mako, what is the second story that you have listed here?
Yeah, so, Shibuya looks like it may be doing a year-round public drinking ban.
That's not good.
No, I didn't think so. Yeah, so, um, for a couple of years now, Shibuya has had a reputation as a party town.
Hmm.
Um, More recently, it developed a reputation as a Halloween party town.
Hmm.
Um, Shibuya was filled with drinking and, different bars, pubs, clubs. Starting in the 2010s, however, on the night of October 31st and the closest weekend, massive crowds began gathering in the area around Shibuya Station, creating a de facto unregulated street party.
Hmm.
Year by year, the crowds got bigger, and with Japan's general lack of rules against on the street consumption of alcohol, drunker. So, uh, with the unruly behavior and litter getting increasingly out of hand, in 2019, the local authorities decided to put a public drinking ban in place during the Halloween season. Following that, there was a public drinking ban put in place on New Year's Eve. And now Shibuya wants to go even harder with no more drinking nights during the year.
Hmm.
At this month's upcoming Shibuya Ward Council session, legislation is going to be introduced, which, if approved, would put a year round public drinking ban in place. While public drinking would not be banned throughout all of Shibuya Ward, the restricted area would encompass the north side of Shibuya Station, including the statue of Hachiko and the Shibuya Scramble intersection.
Hmm.
The Center Guy shopping street and the vicinities of the Shibuya Ward office, Miyashita Park, and Moru Yamacho Music Nightclub area. The revised ordinance should have a degree of effect in reducing levels of litter and noise, said a spokesperson for the proposal's proponents, who hope to have the new rule go into effect this coming October. Several details would have to be hammered out, but legislators are looking at a nightly ban on the public consumption of alcohol between 6 p.m. and 5 a.m.
Hmm.
This would be the first standing prohibition of public drinking for a Tokyo neighborhood. Meanwhile, Shinjuku Ward, the section of Tokyo which borders Shibuya to the north, is looking to introduce a public drinking ban of its own, though only for the Halloween season. They say that since the start of Shibuya's Halloween drinking ban, partiers who want to knock back a couple or a whole lot of while walking around the streets have been migrating to Shinjuku, estimating that Shibuya's stricter policies resulted in 3,000 more people coming to Shinjuku to party last Halloween, with many partiers staying out all night long. Shinjuku will be introducing the proposal at its ward council session this month, which would be an overnight ordinance straddling the night of October 31st and the morning of November 1st.
Hmm.
Yeah, so obviously, I mean, not horrible, but they're literally just talking about public drinking.
Yep.
They're not talking about being able to go into the pubs. They're not talking about, anything like that. They are legit just talking about not being able to walk around while drinking in this area, which, not for nothing, why are you walking around drinking? I mean, I know that Japan is the home of, weird ass shit in machines that you can buy on the street. But why? Why do you have to drink in the middle of the street just to, be able to walk around and say, "Hey, look, I'm drinking in the middle of the street." Stop it.
And that reminds me, one of the things that when I went to Japan, one of the things I had heard, before my trip was that there's no such thing as public drinking. You don't see it's taboo to be drinking in public, whether it's an alcoholic beverage or not. But as I remember, as I'm walking around, hopping on the subways and so forth, I see people, walking around while having a drink. It's, but it's like, drink, you hold on to your empty can, your empty can, and then you find a garbage can and you toss it. And that's the long and short of it. But with these rules coming into place in Shibuya, it's still different from other places where it just takes one person or a bunch of people to ruin it for everybody else. So, it is what it is. Right. Wait, whoa. I went back one too many. There we go.
Oops.
Yeah, I must have double tapped the other one by accident. So, anywho, I think we're done with the show, and I think we actually made pretty good time, given that we started 20 minutes late. Again, apologies across the board for that. So,
I am sorry that my computer shit the bed.
well, it didn't really. It also unshit itself, so that's good.
It did unshit itself, but
Mm-hmm.
I have to hope that if it goes through that update again, that it doesn't, continue to be problematic.
Well, I will message you tomorrow on what to do with it. Remember, you can always tell it not to update. There's always an option to just shut down.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that I know.
Yeah. So, anywho, if you like tonight's show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters, so what we like and don't like, we'll straight up tell you. If you have any questions about the show, drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. Don't forget to check out our website at animejamsession.com, where you'll find not just our weekly podcast, you will find cosplayer tips and tricks, cosplayer interviews, editorials, anime reviews, a lot of other cool stuff on the website that I can't think of off the top of my head. You'll also find links to our YouTube and Facebook page of cosplay and convention coverage, photos, and videos, and a whole lot more. Check it all out at animejamsession.com. And if you like the podcast, give us a follow. You can find us on Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you download podcasts. And what's cool is some of these apps have have a section for reviews. So if you can, please leave us a review. We'd like to know what you think of the show. And while you're at it, don't forget to show us some love on our social media. YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. It's Anime Jam Session across the board. Follow us on those so you know when new stories are going up, photos, videos, when we're going live, all that, and a lot more. And don't forget to follow us. And if you're following us live, down below is our tip jar. There's links to our stream elements, our Streamlabs, and our Ko-Fi if you want to throw us a few dollars, which we'd really appreciate. Also, if you can't do that, donate some bits. We appreciate that too. Also, sub to the channel and give out gift subs. Every little bit counts. If you tell a friend about us, so share it across the board. We appreciate that. So now we'll go around the room. Last words, Mako-chan.
I am going to enjoy passing the fuck out tonight.
my last words is I just finally got my medical insurance cards and stuff. So now I'm going to go ahead, update all of that, and then edit and go to bed. So that is it. End of list. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. I will be here. Mako will be here. Ari will be here. Will you be here? We hope you are. So that is it. End of list. We're getting the heck up on out of here. So I'm Ranma.
And I am Mako-chan.
Great fight. Great night. See you next week.
Good night.
Say goodnight, Mako-chan.
Good night, Mako-chan.
Perfect. Awesome. We are out of here. See you all next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!